first arrived. Next, Jenny invited the angel to help out in the fields. With Jack's land being so large, it was tough for just 2 people to manage everything. The angel could only resign herself to it. She had been there less than a day and was already being turned into a laborer. After a whole afternoon of work, all the crops were finally harvested. Watching the two use magic to clean the mud off themselves, Jack felt truly envious. Back inside the cabin, the angel tasted strawberries for the first time. She thought to herself that this self-sufficient life wasn't so bad after all. But Jenny immediately seized the opportunity to tease her.
決まりね。一緒に住んでくれるわよね。ね、お願いよ。私一人じゃ体が持たないのよ。はい？どういうことですか？
After the 2 women moved in, Jack's quality of life kept improving. He no longer had to do things like carry lumber by himself. But soon a new problem arose. Shadow and Snowy's puppies had started having litters of their own, and the old house was quickly becoming too crowded. So Jack came up with an idea. He built a kennel right next to the orchard. After they moved in, the dogs seemed quite happy. In comparison, the spider's children were completely different. They didn't need any care from Jack at all. Once they grew up, they became incredibly powerful. Of course, a small number of them still chose to stay behind. Around that time, the angel mentioned she needed to go away for a while. Jack thought she might be leaving for good, but Jenny told him not to worry at all. Sure enough, after only 2.5 days, the angel returned with a surprise. It turned out the elf tribe once lived far in the north, but a war 200 years ago destroyed their homeland. Since then, they had wandered with no permanent home, unable to increase their numbers, so they begged Jack to take them in. Jack had no reason to refuse such an offer. Then Jenny began her familiar introduction routine.
座布団よ。それと黒たち。
With so many new people arriving all at once, Jack considered building an extra large house. To his surprise, the elves were not only hardworking, but also highly skilled in construction. Jack even learned quite a few assembly techniques from them. 10 days later, the house was completed. The floor plan looked something like this. It had every facility they could possibly need. Seeing how happy the 9 elf women were, Jack felt deeply satisfied. To thank Jack for taking them in, the elves even took over all the blacksmithing work. Jack was astonished. According to typical otherworldly logic, wasn't that supposed to be a dwarf specialty? What he didn't realize was that the elves had been wandering for 200 years, and had basically learned every skill there was. Holding the large iron wok they made, Jack's thoughts drifted back to his modern life. But what he didn't know was that there were still some things the elves simply couldn't do.
定住と繁殖くらいですかね。
The next day, Jack discovered by chance that the elves were also experts at baking. They had even managed to obtain natural yeast. For the first time in a long while, Jack got to eat freshly baked bread. He decided he would plant more wheat soon. Luckily, with the all-purpose farming tool, he didn't have to worry about seeds at all. He could use the newly built reservoir to expand a paddy field for rice. He also didn't need to worry about the planting ceremony. He left that task to the 7 elf helpers. He didn't need to fear pests either. The spider's children took care of that. Soon, 2 rice paddies were completed. And with the power of the all-purpose farming tool, the rice sprouted and headed even faster than expected. Jack then summoned a sickle, but he barely had to lift a finger himself. With the 7 elf helpers around, harvesting the rice was done in minutes. After drying the rice, Jack materialized a threshing machine. Once the grains were separated from the stalks, the next step was hulling and polishing. Although the process was intricate, the moment he saw the finished white rice, he felt